I got lost at the end. Yes, rock and roll.
Yes. You got the spirit. You got the spirit in there.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know, it doesn't always go well, as everyone knows, on IoT Coffee Talk.
It's authentic. It's authentic, you know?
Yeah, and this thing is bright as hell.
In this age of AI-generated music, it's good to hear authentic human-played music.
You know, human-generated slop.
Human-generated slop as opposed to AI-generated slop.
All day over AI generated anything.
You know, there's a lot of people that are using it now, like especially Sora, and now that Google has released, or Alphabet released, what is it? Nano Banana. It's like that.
It's hard to even
Best product name ever.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up with all of them now because, I mean, everyone's kind of picking and choosing their top 2 or 3 and they're using them.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I don't know. I think at the moment, maybe, you know, this will probably change in the future, but it has this whole subliminal brand of and impression of fake. I think you immediately think fake. And then I don't know. I personally, I think for me, it's a turnoff. Just because you wonder whether or not you can trust it, and whether or not, like, even if it's something of, you know, produced around a person that you don't know whether or not it's a deep fake, you know, and things are getting really good. So what do you
almost have to assume it is. There's all these videos on Instagram now about people picking up packages and then blowing up with the colors and stuff, you know, the porch pirate things, and those are all AI generated fakes.
There's a lot of AI generated. It's great advertising, marketing, meaning because they do something really just out of control, outrageous, and then it's clickbait for some crappy, who knows, right? The clickbait is, rage bait is everywhere with
Rage bait,
word of the year.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
That's
rage
it. Yeah.
Bait and advertising, like just clickbait to get you into the middle of a website that has 1 million pop-ups and who knows what they're collecting on you.
Yeah.
That to me is happening like crazy. It seems like
here for prizes.
TikTok and Instagram, it's everywhere.
Remember, it used to be Publishers Clearinghouse used to have to take those stamps and stick them on there and mail it in. Now it's like just click on.
We all did it. We thought we were going to win something.
Yeah, sure. Actually, you know, funny story. My mother-in-law actually won Publishers Clearinghouse. I think I told that story. Yeah, she won like $40,000 or $60,000 or something. And
awesome.
My wife and I were convinced it was a total scam, and we're like, "You're being scammed. You're being scammed." And she's like, "Oh," and then they wrote her a check, and it worked. So.
To know anyone that has won that is like, whoa,
I know.
it is.
Okay. Yeah, you know, there is hope out there.
Yeah. So
fill out your Publishers Clearinghouse when it comes to that.
I was ticked off because I've always, like, when the mega cache or whatever, and in Texas, I forgot what they call it. When it gets really high, like in the hundreds, like I will actually just go online through the little app and buy stuff. And I mean, I don't spend maybe $5 a year, so it's really nothing. But I guess the state of Texas has now stopped that. You cannot no longer do it through an app. I think they had massive fraud because these folks were creating these AI tools, software to go out and buy all of them, buy all the numbers and the combinations, and they were winning.
I see. But isn't the deal like when you buy a lottery ticket from a local whatever, and if you win, they get a piece of the action, I think.
Yes,
that's right.
They get a portion.
So it's nice to buy it from your local whatever.
Yeah.
And it's always some, you know, convenience store in the middle of nowhere that wins.
That's right.
You know,
$20 billion Powerball.
That last massive one that was in the Mega Millions, that was one. It was a store in Fredericksburg.
Wow.
Oh,
A little gas station, like hole in the wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the key. Find hole in the wall gas station.
That's right.
Go buy your autos from the small mom and pops.
That's the secret. Yeah.
The mom and pops.
So can I tell you guys what has happened to me over the last 24 hours?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, Rob, you've seen some of it on Facebook.
No.
So, and I have an idea for the robotics industry. So if they're listening, we could really use you in waste management, biohazard, bio cleanup.
Uh-oh.
We drive into the ranch and it's like dusk, so it was getting dark really quickly. And there is pieces of toilet paper. I live on a state highway. So pieces of toilet paper, used pieces of toilet paper, human waste, all over the front entrance of our ranch.
Oh no.
Wow.
Well, guess what? Bandera Tex Dot County, it's a state highway, so Tex Dot is responsible, Texas Department of Transportation. They're closed on Fridays.
Of course.
And it's a I'm so disgusted. I'm like,
Where did it come
need our
from?
robotics industry to come out here and clean this up. They dispatch them, use the autonomous vehicles, come clean up the crap.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I don't. Not only that. That was the first story. The second story was Dimitri still got a little echo.
Yeah.
Second story was our gate was accidentally left open, and we have not figured out who did it. But two of our Gibbons antelope were on the highway.
Oh no.
Oh,
So-
no way.
And so we don't have trackers on them, and we don't have tags on them. They're like $10,000 animals.
You know who you need to call, don't you?
Gosh.
You
Oh,
need to call our friend Jimmy Chapman in San Antonio with Ranch Sense.
Oh, my husband already
Ranch
talked to
Sense.
him. My husband works with him already.
Yeah, because you're right. He moved on from just doing water troughs for livestock to now open and closed gates.
Yep.
On your ranch.
yeah.
So
Well, the reason why we have gate issues is because we did have a horrible storm come through, and we have one of those automatic gates that has an arm on it that opens electric gates, and the wind pulled the weld off and it just broke. So we had real high, 40-mile-per-hour winds. So we just have had a little bit of an issue on the ranch lately.
Oh,
Yeesh.
that's serious stuff.
So, and I'm like, of course, all of this happens when my husband is out of town. So ranch wife has to kick in. I'm driving around counting animals, trying to figure out where they're all, it's a whole mess.
You know what? Your ranch is a perfect use case for GenAIoT. You know that?
That is not a term.
AIO.
Well,
That's not a term.
apparently it is. We're going to be on a podcast. We're going to be on IoT communities, IoT Slam next week to talk about it. So.
Yes, and those guys at IoT Slam, they're just trying anything to keep the hype machine going, and so they were the ones who jumped on the AIoT bandwagon, and then last year GenAIoT, and I'm like, guys, this is just silly.
Yeah.
But
it's called generative edge AI, by the way. That's
thanks.
Oh my!
Gen AI edge intelligence. We're going to start having some complete conglomeration of all of our acronyms.
Yes.
Hey, there are microcontrollers out there running transformer-based language models, so beware of what's happening.
There you go.
Really?
Olive Semiconductor. Look at Olive Semiconductor. Yeah, they're running small language models on using the ARM Ethos core. So it's happening. Look at on our YouTube, we just did that 2-day. Well, Rob, you helped kick it off, the 2-day generative edge AI.
And they could fit. There's enough RAM.
It fits. It fits.
I saw yesterday I was doing some research on robotic stuff because I am doing some stuff in that space right now. And they're now calling these robots AI robots. So I'm like, here we go. It's another one.
Yeah, why not? Well, whatever. AI car wash too. There's an AI,
There's a little something to that. I mean, you can.
There definitely is, especially some of the controllers, from control arms. But the humanoid robotics is where, I think that CES is going to be insane with the humanoid.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
announcements.
And we are looking forward to that.
There's going to be some viral videos at CES of humanoid robots like chasing down pedestrians or whatever.
Maybe we should put on costumes that
Yeah,
make
we
them
should dress
look
as
like
humanoid robots and run around there tackling people.
Are all of you guys going to be there?
Yes.
I'll be there.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Okay, that's gonna be a good event because we're all going to be there.
We're going to have a blast.
Yeah. We have.
Have you seen the videos that came out this week? There's a couple of them, but they're comparing, the Tesla robot and there's a couple others and big brands, and they're showing them running.
Yeah.
But they're not live videos; they're recorded videos, and they're short seconds in time.
Yeah.
One's way short. One of them was like 8 seconds. The other one's much shorter. But there's one of them. If you just look at my Twitter today.
Oh Jesus.
But it looks so freaking real. The human run, it looks smooth. The joint, it looks like a human running.
Mm-hmm. So on the 8-second one, you didn't see the little Sora icon somewhere in the screen.
That was not that, but I was looking for that. Yeah.
The physical movements of some of these robots are pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So
it seems like we're all over the map because I do see the running robots in China and doing crazy stuff. And then I see the really good robots like Optimus and all these other ones, and they suck.
What about the Russian robot?
Remember the one where Elon's got his robot talking to, what's his name from Salesforce? Give me a Coke.
Yeah.
Give me a freaking Coke. And it's like,
there's like a mesh video someone put together of all the different robot simulations, or that they're on stage or whatever. All of the ones where they fall. There's 7 of them in the that fall.
I love it when they fall.
It's funny.
Love the falling robots. Love the uneducated people. Oh, sorry. That was.
Excuse me. Did I say that word?
That's a lot of people to love.
That is true.
Oh my god!
Thank God for that. That's how the internet keeps working. Oh, I just echoed.
Dimitri,
I'm still doing echoes.
Yeah.
Still got the echoes going.
Yeah. Yeah.
When there was a band called Pseudo Echo.
Pseudo Echo. I don't remember.
I remember that.
Probably. But it sounds like
a couple of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
CES is coming up, so hopefully everyone will get a little break before then. So,
Rob, are you already in Fredericksburg?
I'm gonna, as soon as we're done with this, we'll load up the car and head your way. And actually, maybe we should drive along the state highway by your ranch just so we can see. Oh, thanks.
Do a little cleanup.
Yeah. Kathy just said, so gross. Yeah, Kathy saw your picture on Facebook. It's like, that is so disgusting.
You know what?
I was polite and did not zoom in on any of the nastiness because I think that would have.
Yeah.
It was already enough that I felt like I was getting sick when I drove up to the ranch. I was like,
yeah, totally. That's gross. That's no bueno. Ugh.
Here's something that's really ironic. As we're taping this session or recording this session, I'm getting all these invites for CES. Micron analyst happy hour. And they're going to be ditching their consumer stuff. So that's interesting because they're
getting out of the consumer memory business.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed though, Leonard, and this, I've been looking at a lot of the stuff. I actually finally downloaded the CES app just to see what's happening with this one. It seems like more than half of the activities, the companies, it's definitely more enterprise and industrial focused than consumer focused that I've ever seen.
Oh, really? Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. And the companies that I'm not normally I look at it every year to see who's coming. And I went through all the companies and I'm like, wow, there are a lot more I would not consider consumer oriented companies, that a lot more than I've ever seen.
Yeah, there's always a little spillover there because everybody's there, but still C for consumer. Yeah, so I guess crucial is no longer crucial.
Oh, wow, that's a headline.
Someone will pick it up. But yeah, Micron, they announced that they're getting out of the consumer memory business, the crucial stuff that we've seen for 30 years.
Yeah.
Because they're overwhelming demand on the data center side because, you
guys notice that news that prices on RAM have been skyrocketing lately?
Yeah.
Not surprised.
And it's fluctuating. And now I read something, people are doing spot market pricing on RAM. Like they won't even give you a solid price. It's like, call me. I'll tell you what it costs today.
Well, you can always create futures.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
Or, so
you and I and Eddie Murphy are going to corner the orange
juice futures. Yeah, orange juice concentrate futures.
Exactly. I need you to.
Sounds like a new micro betting. The new micro betting topic of the day.
Yeah.
You know, that's what all the kids are doing. They all download these micro betting apps and they bet on everything, non-sports related, sports related.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And the Prize Picks is really popular app. There's a couple others, but these micro betting apps are like taking off, like in these younger kids that have no money.
Right.
Spending money on it.
Between that and the lottery tickets we started the conversation with, we're sort of infiltrating gambling across every aspect of human life at this point.
Well, no, don't call it gambling. It's called gamification.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Gamification, not gambling.
Yeah,
when I was in Vegas, I was going to do some gamification too, but at the blackjack table, just gamify it a little bit.
Very expensive gamification.
Yeah.
Speaking of Vegas, Rob and I just got back from Vegas.
Yes,
AWS
reinvent. Yeah.
Yes, we reinvented stuff.
Did they reinvent, or what was the punchline?
Oh yeah, they're always reinventing, right?
Yes, agentic AI on steroids.
Yeah,
Agent Core, Agent Core policy.
Any big announcements?
1,000 big announcements. That's the problem. Maybe I'm wrong. Leonard, tell me. It's just like
got flooded.
You get flooded. When you see the main keynote and then the second keynote, and it's just like, and for that reason, I'm pleased to announce blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Well, we do that like 1,000 times.
Right.
Like, there's so much. I don't know how a human can digest all that stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Doesn't it lose its luster, or like it doesn't? Are there things that's not standing out when they have 20 announcements on stage like that?
Yeah, you don't know what's important. I mean, there's a lot of it just gets diluted, right? And you don't do themselves any favors. I think, Rob, you're absolutely right. They should just stop doing all this blah 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 style announcement marketing, right? Because people get lost, and then most people, they'll hear these announcements and won't know what they mean. It'll just mean something to a very small audience, right?
Yeah.
So it's they're kind of losing it. And actually, Amazon was the first to really get on earnings calls and just flood analysts with 1,000 new announcements to show that they're innovating. But they spent only 10 minutes. Matt Garman got up on his keynote and spent only 10 minutes on their core business. And then the rest of it was focused on agentic. And last year was better because they actually led in with cloud when Azure or Microsoft and Google were just going bonkers with GenAI, right? Yeah. And for enterprise, everybody realized, GenAI is not good enough. So then, the second half of the year, we got into the reasoning stuff and they teed up agentic. Yes. This year, AWS just followed the herd, right? If not, maybe have had, kind of led the herd. But you get Swami getting up there, and he's the lead of, he's the VP of agentic AI, gets up there. And he says, hey, we have these new agentic tools that get us 90% accuracy. And I was sitting there with another analyst, and I looked at him and I go, dude, 90%?
90%. So 1 out of 10 trips gets booked incorrectly, I guess.
Yes. We're going to use that for our spaceship.
Yikes.
Yeah, but
1 out of 10 invoices get sent to the wrong vendor.
Right.
Control systems in factories. Maybe airlines could use that.
At scale. Remember,
At
scale
At scale, yes.
speed, people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speed.
Also, and it's a reminder, because, obviously Pete and I have lived and breathed all the Microsoft developer events that we'll call different things. reInvent is technically a developer event. That being said, broad audiences like 60,000 are coming to this, and they're not developers or a subset of developers. Everybody from every strata in the enterprise is there, and they might be dumbfounded when there's such a developer focus, and they were like, where am I? It's like, oh, am I at Microsoft PDC or Build or whatever? And so there's that. Like, another big announcement, though, was Cairo. Is that the name of their development tool?
Yeah.
And it's their AI development tool. And to show how awesome they think it is, they decided to double down, and now it's the exclusive development tool for themselves. And 100% of everything Amazon and AWS builds is going to be built with this Cairo tool.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
But
yeah,
I don't, well, that's what they'd like to say. And that's all of them, right? Just Amazon or AWS, but that's not how it turns out, right? So when you go into the expo and you start talking to the, the guys that are running the demos, they'll tell you, oh yeah, well, you have to tweak it. There's a lot of work that goes into making the automations work, but you still have the SDLC, right? This is stuff that we've already talked about. So the human in the loop does not disappear. And what was really cool was when Werner Vogels went up on stage. By the way, he was quoting Metallica tunes, which is friggin' awesome, right?
I love Warner.
Nothing matters. So that was like his whole shtick for the thing, and they had like a string quartet. Yeah, it was the coolest thing to hear Kirk Hammett's solo for the. Actually, it's not Kirk Hammett; it's James Hetfield's solo played on a cello. That's like awesome, right? But they record. I think they record it, so you can go.
That's cool.
But
that's cool.
That's one way to capture our generations of interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But and it dates him like it dates the rest of us.
I don't know. Some of y'all are younger than me on here.
Yeah, I think that's not true.
Leonard is.
No.
Oh, that's true. Leonard's only 25.
I scared the crap out of a number of people just this week when I told them how old I was. But
baby,
that's why God invented just for men.
So he didn't characterize it as like the replacement of the developer, right? He said it's a tool, and he reminded everybody in the audience it's a tool, and that's exactly what he should have said. And he said it. But it's such a big organization. The messaging is not always consistent, right?
Yeah.
You have Swami doing his thing, which is like a lot of the hype-driven stuff, and then at the very end they save. Like just like Matt's keynote, they save the technical keynote to articulate the sensible mindset around all this.
Yes. That's why they have Warner go last after everyone's already left, because he says the real stuff, because he's the only legit guy at AWS, actually. And he's been around forever. Okay, so also to show how analysts or the media can move stock markets during an event, during the first keynote, on Tuesday, and they talk about Trainium 3, and they say best price performance, and they kind of allude to that it's just as good as Blackwell, but it's cheaper and better price performance. Well, that got out into the market that same day, and AWS stock skyrocketed because the whisper down the lane until it gets into print media on the interwebs was, this is just as good as Grace Blackwell, but it's a whole lot cheaper, and Amazon's going to take over the world or whatever. And the stock just rocketed, and it happened. It's amazing how you just move markets during an event, because you got all these analysts and media people sitting there on their phones typing as fast as they can, and it
probably started trending, and then all the investor guys started looking at it and buy.
And at the same time, what stock went down? Nvidia. Simultaneously, just like, oh wait, there's an alternative. And then of course, and Leonard and I talked about this, and others. Then they announce, they do this every year. It's a new thing, Trainium 3. It's still small volumes because it's a new chip. But they also announced, and now to let you know, we're working on Trainium 4. And if any of you old timers on here recall Osborne computers from the early days,
Osborne effect.
They basically did the Osborne thing, which you should never do. Osborne, as the story goes, you announce something that's coming in the future that's going to be so much better than what you have today, and then it kills your sales for your present offering.
Right.
And that's what put Osborne out of business.
Yep.
And that's what AWS basically did. But we're working on something that's even super duper, even better, called Trainium 4. But obviously, it's probably not going to have the Osborne effect.
That's announcing the next product as you're announcing that product.
Yes.
That's the Osborne effect.
Yes.
Yeah, but
it's like, why should I buy this? You got the next thing is working on.
Yeah, we're going to wait for the next thing.
It happens with everything but the G's, 3G, 4G. No one's going, ooh, give me some of that.
I'm going to wait till 6G comes out. Yeah. I'm not buying a phone until 6G comes out.
Well, it's sort of like if Tim Cook announced like the iPhone 17, and then at the same time it said, and next year we're going to do the 18, and it's going to have these features. Like, that would not be a good idea. So it's never a good idea to announce your next gen as you're announcing your first gen or whatever. So
why don't you say some words, Dimitri, and we'll I don't think you're
let's go for it.
I was trying to find time to say some words.
1, 2, 3.
I don't know what's going on. This is very
good. You're back.
The reason why you're not going to have the Osborne effect with Amazon is because subscription service. So the subscription went put that away.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But true. But then also, they're not the ones that did it first. It's Nvidia that did it first. They laid out their roadmap, and they're, think about it. They've announced their systems going out literally for 3 years, right? They have 3 generations on their map. The stuff they're delivering now, about to deliver, and then stuff a year out, and then years out. So and Jensen gets on stage and he does talk about how, well, with the next generation, you're not going to give a crap about the one that you just bought. And so now when there's that discussion around useful life, he has a problem, right? And I call it the Jensen dilemma. Okay, is the technology really scaling, or is it slowing down so you can have a longer useful life? His problem is inference systems are diversifying. So all the systems that they have right now, with the NVL72s, whether it's Blackwell based or even in the future Vera based, it's all gonna look different, right? That's why they introduced CPX, and that's going to be a problem for that thesis. And these systems are going to be obsolete if they hold on to these curves Jensen's talking about. But that's not the case. That means that the technology is not actually moving as fast as he's alluding to, which, I've been saying that for 2.5 years, ever since he's been introducing these various variations of scaling laws, which are not really laws, especially the way that they're presented. So he has a problem now, and and as does Lisa, who's taken up that same narrative, and AWS and anyone else who's picking this stuff up. But I think what Google and AWS are dealing with are probably better economics, because they are in a different game than Nvidia, with a lot of the frontier customers that they tend to have. You know what I'm saying? Where general purpose accelerators make a bit more sense, right? But if you're like a Google, you're big enough right? And you have a singular roadmap for your own models, you can scale that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you see them, they can probably get a lot out of what looks like a less performant chip, but these systems are more about interconnect networking and everything else, power management, power distribution. So the talk track right now, especially on Wall Street and just in general, is about 16 months to 2 years off. We've already been talking about systems for 2 years, but people are still talking about chips. So if you go and you listen on media and you see some of these talking heads get up on CNBC and stuff, they still talk about the friggin' chip. You know what I mean? But the Blackwell doesn't matter that much anymore. It's NVLink, right? It's the scale up, the scale out, and now the scale across bullshit. That's what's important more than.
No, that's a good point. And also, I think the point of like the inferencing is becoming more separated from the training is very key. And a lot of people don't understand that, but that is definitely happening. And the efficiency that's driving, I always tell people the efficiency is the frontier, and getting more efficiency in inferencing and in training, is really where there's going to be a lot of economic value as well. So,
Frontier is such a big buzzword these days, isn't
Frontier, the frontier of the frontier. Don't forget that.
Exactly. We have frontier models. We might have frontier agents. At Ignite, Microsoft talked about frontier firms, like companies that are frontier companies.
Frontier.com.
Whatever happened to Frontier Communications?
Oh my gosh.
Fiber optics, right? At cut rate prices.
Were they a WISPA?
No, there were more than that. I remember bringing in like 10 gig circuits into buildings from Frontier.
But definitely a heavy rural rural SMB and enterprise market.
And then sometimes you can fly on their airplanes.
Frontier Airlines.
Maybe.
Bam.
Oh, we got some music. Ooh, from Dimitri.
Yeah, he's having serious audio.
Yeah, really. What's going on here, buddy?
It's some kind of big audio dynamite or something.
No, and then he was on mute. He didn't. Okay, he's tapping out again.
He's on the frontier. No question.
Frontier. That's what happens out there.
The frontier of audio.
Yes.
Agentic audio production. Therefore.
Yes.
Oh
my gosh.
Crazy town.
It was crazy town.
See that? Yeah. All that infrastructure stuff. It's definitely something that.
I love this. I love when Pete walks away. He's got the auto framing.
The auto zoom is like.
But what it does is it's kind of like, it almost reminds me, it's not exactly, like when Hawaii 5.0 would come on and they're racing across up to the hotel room.
That's right.
And then Garrett McGavitt or whatever turns around.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's awesome.
The Hawaii
Jack
5.0
McGarrett.
effect.
Yes.
Sorry, Leonard. You were.
No, I'm gonna make a comment about Dimitri. The Dimitri situation is a perfect example of why enterprises don't change shit and are so slow with digital transformation. He probably bought a new snazzy interface or something like that.
EDA converter.
He had stuff.
No, what happened is I had a Microsoft Teams meeting just before this one.
And that threw you off. Dang it.
Because somebody at Microsoft thought that the sound APIs at the layer of the operating system of the Mac was not good enough for their shit, so they decided to do some hacks. And
Found it.
You know what
they have auto settings and it throws everything off, and so when you log into your
audio subsystem and
hate that.
Yeah,
they made it agentic. Come on, and then they threw an MCP server in there somewhere, just to.
Why not?
Some sort of 90% accurate agentic thing going on.
Yeah. No.
Well,
did I say this last week? I was so surprised to see that there's Skype for Business server is still a thing. Did I talk about like last week? I don't know, or maybe Leonard and I.
Is that on the internet Wayback Machine or something?
Well, it was.
Come on, Rob. Do you think Microsoft Teams is something different than SharePoint?
No, but and so maybe Leonard and I talked about it. Because at Ignite a couple of weeks ago, I'm talking about their Azure local. They're really making that up kind of to be a competitor to Outpost or Oracle Dedicated Region, and they talked about new announcements that almost no one saw. Microsoft 365 local that runs on Azure local, your on-prem servers, and it includes Exchange server, Skype for Business server, and SharePoint server. And I'm like, are we?
So this runs on a server on your business. Oh.
We're regressing.
Like you went and bought a server from HP or Dell, and you're
putting Exchange on it. Wow, that's revolutionary.
Exchange, but we're going to call it Azure somehow. Local. So
when Microsoft bought Skype, it's like everything went to shit from there on. So
maybe we could say that
Skype had a good following. They had a good user base.
Maybe they should bring back Link. I think the Link was
Link. Yeah.
We used Compass used Skype when we had like 30 employees, and that's the way we communicated everything.
Skype was the best.
ICQ was better.
Yeah. Skype was,
and all of the folks that were, because we had a lot of folks that we would talk to in Asia and India and Singapore, and it was just so much easier than having
free phone calls. I mean,
yeah.
Skype was free phone calls. That was the value prop. Free international phone calls.
That's the way we all
genius technology. It was peer-to-peer technology that they used, and it was so efficient. Does anyone remember? It could run on your netbook. Does anybody remember netbooks? Like they were low-end laptops running XP or Linux or something. And all of a sudden,
that was a short category, short-lived category.
But everybody, no matter how poor they are, they could have a netbook with Skype, and they're connected to the planet. When Microsoft bought Skype, you know what Microsoft did to it? They re-architected the whole thing and converted it into a hub and spoke communication system instead of the clever peer-to-peer thing, and ran it right into the ground.
Mm.
And of course, there's also the peripheral effects. Because remember, back at that time, and maybe now again, Microsoft was not a cool company. And people can't underestimate how important the vibe of the company. Are you cool? Are you hip? Or are you a loser like we always would talk about at IBM or whatever? And so instantly, people are like, I don't even care if Skype's good. Microsoft had become the evil empire during the Ballmer years. And so I'm not going to use it. And it just died.
That was definitely the period when that was happening too.
Wow.
Like they bought something, and everyone that was like a heavy user were like, "I'm out."
I'm out. Right.
It's called breaking the toy before you get it out of the box.
That's how Pete's going to be at Vegas. I'm out.
That's right. I'm out, man.
We're gonna have so much fun in Vegas.
Blackjack.
I'm burnt out on Vegas already, but yes, we should have a dinner.
You just got back, so you know.
Yeah, it's not my favorite place for tech conferences, but
yeah. That's where
the hotels.
Time lip chapping. I mean, literally, you will land and you will feel your lips.
Dry.
In fact, during an interview or something, I witnessed Leonard Lee pull out his chapstick and put it on while we were there this week. And he's not kidding. It was so dry. It's like 0% humidity.
That's the giveaway for tech companies. Give away a chapstick thing. Your logo on it.
4 or 5, those lotions, the body lotions to stick all over my body because I was like turning into a mummy. It was horrible.
Bring a humidifier.
Oh my God.
Actually,
you wouldn't do well, Leonard, in like super dry climates because you start cracking the minute you land.
Yeah.
You guys know I spend my vacation in Vegas for DEF CON every year. So I stay about a week over there. I bring a humidifier in my room. It makes a difference. It probably
helps. Probably helps with sinuses, doesn't it?
Right, so you've got like a portable humidifier that you take on the road?
Like that, and I usually drive there, so I have a car. So but yeah,
I would love to get difference. I'd love to get a good product recommendation. That our viewers might want to know a portable humidifier.
I don't remember. Well, the product recommendation is go on Amazon and search.
Yeah.
So,
Amazon special.
yeah, Amazon special.
Exactly.
Black Friday deal.
No, but it's seriously, it makes a big difference.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Good tip. Travel tip.
Good tip.
Travel tip.
Bring 'em in.
Maybe there's a business. We should open a humidifier shop in Las Vegas and rent
They're like a little rental, like when you check your bag at the LVCC, you could rent a humidifier.
Exactly.
Yes.
No, the store should have everything to do with skin, humidity, like just have products for everything. Eyes. Your eyes get dry, your lips get dry, your skin gets dry, your sinus cavities get dry. Everything.
Get a little food truck, brand it with humidifiers and skin products.
Definitely
around Vegas.
We just built the factory nearby, so it's made in America and everything.
Made in America.
China.
We have the new store launch, hydration store.
So investors, please send money. I will give you my PayPal account.
Hydration food truck or whatever.
If I know the marketing princess on this show, within a week she will have a Shopify site, a humidifying travel site, and it's going to have all the accessories all together.
It's going to be called Hydropalm.
Oh my God, genius. Wow.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Yeah, big money.
No, you know what? I just shut down the Etsy store.
Not enough love.
Because I can still buy, purchase, create, and print, hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, and not have the store. The store volume is not enough to pay for the Texas city taxes to have, because you got to pay, it's set up as a retail. So you got to pay retail taxes and file a form every month. And it's like,
oh, screw that noise.
when you don't have volume, like you're not a true retailer, it's annoying. But you can still buy everything wholesale and just give them out to your friends and have your own little personal, do it that way.
Could you do it on your own website, or do you still have to pay the same retail stuff?
No, like I still have my account where I can create, design, and get any kind of merchandise printed, and I would just do it one-on-one with someone. Hey, you want to buy something? I can even show the designs and say, hey, let me know what you want, and I just buy on my wholesale account.
Gotcha. I was just thinking out loud of if you could build a bigger business for yourself on your own website with something formerly known as search engine optimization that may or may not work anymore. I'm not sure now that we have.
It's still working. Google Analytics changes like every week.
AIEO. It's the AEO now. It's the AI engine optimization.
So we have to.
Everything's automated now through a lot of those web platforms, and the CMS platforms will have AI like generated SEO, so you don't have to create it anymore. It will go in and look at your content, look at your imagery, define it, create the tagging all for you, so you don't have to do that anymore.
It'll buy it, it'll sell it, it'll ship it, it'll consume it, it'll throw it out, and then buy more automatically.
I love that.
Supply chain logistics optimization.
It's awesome.
Absolutely. That's so good.
Yeah.
Yes. We are so looking forward to being out in your part of the world, Stephanie.
Well, Fredericksburg is a glorious place during the Christmas time. It's a German, they have a lot of the German town, they have a lot of really cool things, but in Market Square, our school runs the ice skating rink. So it's really tiny, but you can go in there and get some hot cocoa, go ice skate, and they have a lot of lights, and they have a really great Christmas kind of setup. But yeah, you said that they're having a parade this weekend, huh?
That's like the big event. It's tonight.
Yep.
At 6:30.
I'm sure our school will be in it, but
yeah, I mean, I've gone to it before, but it was decades ago. And Fredericksburg was a much smaller place back then.
Yeah, and you can drink. You can have open containers and drink while you're walking around on Main Street. So
what?
Wine, everything.
Are you saying that Fredericksburg is basically the same as New Orleans?
Yeah.
You can walk around with a drink.
Or Vegas. I guess you can do that in Vegas too.
It's a lot safer, Rob.
It's safer than New Orleans?
Yes.
You won't be disappeared?
No.
In Vegas, you can walk around with those big, tall margarita things. Right?
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. Well, Vegas is even crazier because people are smoking marijuana everywhere you go.
Crazy. crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
the first time I ever went to Vegas and I smelled that and I looked around, I'm like, when did that happen? When did they start allowing that? And like, that was like a shock. Like, I didn't realize that was legal.
Yeah. I've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. At least it's just hot. I mean, it's not like San Francisco where you have like folks, shooting up harder stuff right in front of your kid.
Well, but there's actually some interesting research in this area because the amount of the active substance you have in the modern pot that you smoke is like 15-20% higher than one in the 70s. So this kind of a soft drug thing idea, it's actually completely stupid nowadays. It's pretty much as addicted as harder stuff now. So it's crazy.
Yeah. And then there's so many overdosing because they go by off the street. There's fentanyl and they fentanyl overdose.
Yeah, and there's all these new molecules where you can pretty much do that in your garage fairly easily. So and it's going to get even worse than that.
Well, it couldn't have been stronger than the clear Chinese liquor that I had when I was in Korea. That stuff was pretty nasty.
Ooh. Whoa.
I went out to dinner in Korea and they came out with this, it was like an acrylic rectangular box with some clear Chinese liquor bottle inside it. And so they made a big thing of opening the box and taking that out. And then, and I was with a customer. And so, and they bought the thing. So we're like, okay, let's have some of this stuff, whatever. And I'm like, they're like, oh, this is the best. This is the best stuff. This is like, and, and it was like in these kind of half-size shot glasses and had the shot glass. And man, that was nasty. And
we know how important unboxing is these days.
It was a long unboxing and pouring.
Like they were like honoring you as their
No, it was, and I was, I put on my customer face, which was like,
and you're like, I got to try this.
This is fantastic, yeah. And
that's some great.
I'm thinking. First thing I thought of when I had it was like, do I still have gas in my lawnmower, or did I leave that? Did I drain that out for the season?
Super strong.
It was tough. It was tough. So, substances come in all forms these days. So,
hey, some other tech.
Maybe it's a way to make AI look smarter. We just lower the humans with weird substances.
Maybe.
Some other tech news I saw that just recently, you may have seen that our good friend Mark Zuckerberg just came out and said that he was going to reduce his investment in the Metaverse, which instantly made their stock go up.
Yeah.
So that kind of tells you about
good old Metaverse.
Maybe the same thing will happen with AI. At some point, they'll announce that they're going to reduce their spending in AI infrastructure, and their stock will go up.
We did talk about that this week about what happened to no one talks about Llama anymore. From a year ago, Meta was thought of as one of the big leaders in AI with open source, and I didn't hear anybody talking about.
Well, there's so many open source models out there right now, especially from China. Speaking of China, the idea of open source and actually small language models are kind of the new hot thing too. So if you look at the kind of billion parameter, 10 billion parameter and less, it's a very hot space.
So hot right now.
And so the idea of Llama was a pioneer, or they were on the frontier of open source foundation models, but these days there's too many models to shake a stick at, and actually we'll probably see is, I think, more efficient models doing more work and more specialized models. So you'll have you have Groot for robotics, you'll have foundation models for autonomous mobility, you'll have foundation models for manufacturing. So we're going to see more and more specialized AI models. And so the general purpose Llama stuff was cool and groundbreaking a few months ago. But these days, all the cool kids are using all kinds of open source small language models. I feel like
at the very beginning, especially when things are launching fresh, green, brand new, that the branding makes sense and it stands out. And when the market starts opening up, all of these names, we just start forgetting who they are and what they were, because it's really not about the brand or the name of whatever it is anymore. It becomes, you were mentioning that, Leonard, about it's just a tool. This is going to be embedded into the things that we're working with, or software that we're working with. So it just loses its meaning from a branding perspective. But, I think that from a customer experience or even like a worker experience perspective, this stuff is going to be embedded into so many things that we work with every single day that it's not going to matter what the name is.
And that's what we've been talking about that for 3 years now, right? And you're absolutely right. It's just an augmenting tool at the end of the day. It's not reliable enough to be as transformative as everyone, thought it might be, right? And so now the other big buzzword, Rob, was what is it? Oh my God, can't think of the word.
Neuromorphic?
No.
Is that neurodivergent?
It's neurodivergent. No, they added it to the neuro-symbolic.
Neuro-symbolic AI. So now there's this huge, and basically no one has an answer. Jan LeCun, he doesn't have an answer.
That's why I had to bash them on the LinkedIn machine with my comments to maybe remind what people's symbolic AI is.
So what is it?
Oh, yeah.
Symbolic AI is a nice name for a rules engine or branching logic. So back in the day, doing something that we might make fun of today, like a rules engine or if this then that or stuff like that, that actually was AI, and that for building expert systems and things like that. And so I think when AWS, they wanted to make sure that everything they said was related to AI, and they didn't want to take you down a weird thing. And so they started saying symbolic AI. But luckily, I was in the audience. I was like, That's rules engine. And what did they have to do? The new policy engine that they're putting around their agent core, so the agents can't do things that are not allowed by policy. It's based on that. And so it's basically just it's a rules engine. It's a rules engine to where you say, and they even showed it. It was almost like
See, to me, that's such a reach. It's such a reach to try to rename something that's been around. I feel like we see these waves. All of us on this particular IoT Coffee Talk, we've seen these waves over and over and over again, and we're used to the reach. But I mean,
but tech always does the washing, right? It's the green washing, the AI washing, the 5G washing. Remember 5G ready power cords or whatever? I mean,
blockchain.
Or digital ready speakers, or it's all AI ready screen protectors or something.
Yes, or 6G with Atmos.
But
whatever.
Today, what this show is about for the listeners is survival. Because you know what? There are a lot of folks that are jumping into this generative AI agentic stuff. SIs, a lot of the partners of these hyperscalers, they're not making money. They're not making profit. It's not an easy game. And when the hype evaporates, guess what? Their bets in this stuff are going to evaporate. Mm-hmm. Just like we saw in IoT, you're going to disappear. You're going to lose a shit ton of money. And so the grounding is important. And, I was explaining to an executive when we were in Vegas that, if you tune into solving problems and being relevant for your customers and shielding them actually from the stuff that doesn't make any sense, you'll survive and you'll actually make a business. So when everyone else gives up on generative AI and agentic because it's failed everyone's expectations, you're not going to be part of that group. Everyone loves to say, everyone overestimates technology in the short term and then they underestimate in the long term. Yes, but there's two parties, right? The folks who exaggerated and invested and lost everything and got disappointed, they're not going to be part of that latter dynamic where you're underestimating the technology because you lost everything when you were you bought into the hype. We saw that with the .com. We saw that with IoT. Nobody gave a shit about IoT. We see that at 5G right now. Nobody gives a donkey's ass about 5G. And this is more real than anything that we saw on stage, either at Ignite or reInvent or friggin', where like friggin' Dreamscape or whatever friggin' hell thing.
Dreamforce.
Dreamforce.
There we go.
You know what?
Escape.
By the way, the symbolic
Thunderbirds are go.
policy stuff is more of a wrapper, just to control the agent, right? And the LLM. You know where the symbolic crap, this is the pathetic thing. The symbolic crap is like agent forces, agent scripts, where you're literally building the logic into the agent. That's like sort of the poor man's workaround for, neuro-symbolic AI. And it's a joke because it ends up being coding and RPA.
I mean, it was just like when
Leonard needs to start the sanity check consulting firm for all of it.
It was just like when we discovered that the files are in the computer.
But the funny part is that it really demonstrates that we are very, very far away from a true real AGI, because if we have to put those layer of rules and the thing is not smart enough to figure out what it should say when it should say it. That's a problem.
Yeah, but here, let's say something nice about generative AI. The thing that works, where I think there's a lot of potential, is with AWS Transform. Basically modernizing stuff using generative AI to translate like COBOL. COBOL. Like that was like one of the things.
Some tasks.
Yeah.
I had a cool little use case that I did, and it was just, I had something in front of me that was an Excel spreadsheet for a customer, and they had like 100 SKUs, right?
Yeah.
And I needed to put it into a Word document, or I have a Word document and I need to put into a spreadsheet and categorize by certain columns. I used AI to create that, and it was about 99% correct. Had to go in and fix a couple of things, do some little editing here and there. But my gosh, how much time it saved me to help them so they could load into their e-commerce engine, right? Like that's so basic.
There are gazillion fantastic use cases. The thing that we've said on the show several times is that we have to stop thinking of AI as replacing the human intelligence.
Yeah.
It's just a fantastic tool, and if you use it smartly with human intelligence, you can do absolutely great stuff. Yeah. But if you have this kind of fantasy that's going to become super intelligent and I'm going to be an idiot compared to it, no.
Yeah. I mean, AGI, nobody gives a shit about AGI anymore. AS.
By the way, also when you hear all those people saying, "Oh yeah, but now he can solve all math problem," no, he can solve. He can solve solved math problem. There is no AI that has solved any of the millennium problems that mathematicians have not solved yet.
I've said this before. I was using a tool to create some web programming, programming a web page, and it had some math in it, and I noticed the error in the math, and I had to correct the AI tool, and they said, "Yes, you are correct. We did not add that up correctly." And so I'm like, I knew logically that was not correct, but I told it wasn't correct, and they had to recalculate. So I was like, "Whoa!" I thought basic math should have been math is math.
That was like that meme we liked where the person ate the poisonous mushroom and died, and the AI goes, "Oh, I'm wrong. That's a poisonous mushroom, not a good one."
No, 90% accurate.
He's not going to say accurate. He's going to say, "You are right." But
9 out of 10 mushrooms are not poisonous.
I wonder. Oops, my bad. Let me fix
my bad. You're dead. Oh.
But the other thing that fascinates me is that nobody asks this question: is how come this AI is not capable to answer? You ask something, say, "I don't know."
Please say, "I don't know."
Right.
That's what we want.
Which is probably the most human, smart thing. This is actually, now that I think about it, this is the smartest thing a human can say. He say, "I don't know," if you legitimately don't know.
Right there.
There is
the smartest thing a human can say.
Give me some more time and I will do some research and figure this out.
Just go ask another model or ask my trainer to train me on this because I know. No, but that would be smart. It's not, "Oh, you are right." Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, instead they put out whether it's...
And the reason they do that is because obviously the technology is designed so that it's a spitting word thing. So
Yeah. Actually, I want to go back to Rob's comment really quick, and then we got to shut this down. You're right. The policy thing, in a way, for an agent is a rules engine. but its purpose is weird. It's trying to control something that's non-deterministic, and usually rules engine has a decision that it's making. You know what I'm saying? People are just like sticking so many layers of lipsticks on this pig. It's unbelievable. And it all costs a ton of tokens.
And there's a good reason to have rule-based guardrails, which we've been using in our companies forever, and it works. It goes back to stories you've heard where people, when airlines or different companies thought they were cool and they put AI chatbots in there, and the customers can basically con the AI into giving them refunds or doing all this crazy stuff, and retailers. And so they had to put rules around the stupid AI who can be tricked to say, if customer credit is less than whatever, don't let them do such and such. Within these boundaries, AI will let you do whatever.
Yeah.
but not to exceed.
The controversial argument here is, how is that different from human societies? You have a bunch of stupid humans and you have to give them a constitution and a legal system to not do stupid things. We are fundamentally doing the same. You have this AI stuff. We just need to give it rules.
But think about it. With Six Sigma, what do you do with these processes? A lot of it is just to simplify things and take the human out, the human error out. Now, what everyone's trying to do with agentic AI is introduce a human quality back into these Six Sigma processes. In other words, injecting one Sigma into Six Sigma.
The irony.
But the objectives are different. The objective of Six Sigma is quality. The objective of AI is reducing the human cost.
Yeah.
I know. Did you
you
guys see the speaking of like machine learning, and did you see the recent things with the Waymo vehicles where it drove right into the middle of a police standoff?
Ooh.
And in Austin, Texas, where they've got a lot of stuff going on with Waymo, they keep on blowing right through the stop sign that's pulled out on a school bus over and over.
Yeah, but you know what you do? Buy a T-shirt with a stop sign on the back and walk on the...
Right.
No, and seriously, I've seen people do that. You have a T-shirt with a stop sign on your back and you walk in Paris with a Waymo. It stops every... No, it works.
I love it. That is the funniest thing I've heard.
God, talk about...
The stupid thing is, stop sign, it stops.
Hacking the Windows.
We should all get
He doesn't
stop
see it
sign
anymore.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that. That's awesome.
That's
I
awesome.
didn't think about that, Dimitri. That's too funny.
You're going to traffic jams all over San Francisco.
Hey, fundamentally, it's prompt injection. So
it is prompt injection.
It is prompt injection.
Exactly. SQL injection. Yes, I love it. We love that.
With that, Rob, you want to take us out?
Thanks so much for joining us here on IoT Coffee Talk. We talked a little bit about IoT. It was really exciting. Don't wear a T-shirt with a stop sign on it because it will cause the Waymos to stop. It was a big week at AWS reInvent for us, and so lots of announcements, and we'll be digesting all that kind of stuff. We gave you a few tidbits. Actually, we did hear that technically there is no such thing as open source AI models anywhere on the planet. There's open weights, but not a single one is open source. They're all black boxes. You are not privy to the data that was used to make it. And many people don't want you to know about the data because then they might get in trouble when people in law enforcement find out that they got that data from ill-got gains. And so watch out. Open weights, not open source. Please join us again next week. Who knows what we'll talk about? I'm sure it'll be deep and heavy. And as we're diving into the holiday season, hope everyone's having a lovely time. And I'm so looking forward to driving out to the Hill Country to see Stephanie.
Awesome.
And hang out in Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
And then make sure to donate to elevate our communities. Elevate communities. Give us a blurb.
Real quick on Elevate Communities. Man, we ran into some snags with the name because some other name entity in Texas had that name. So we had to get their approval, which has to be a legal document, which has to be notarized and everything. So that has been our holdup for getting everything else filed. So hopefully that's in the mail and heading my way. Once I get that in place, I'll get everything officially switched over. But you can still check us out at elevatecommunities.org. More to come with that. So stay tuned.
Yeah. And you built another site helping out there. What was it? KARAOKE or something?
Herkind.org. Yeah. They're starting to process a lot of the flood victims cases to rebuild, get their families as close as they can back to some kind of a semblance.
Yeah. Definitely going to drive out there this weekend as well. Go out to hunt and go along the Guadalupe and see what's what.
You'll be amazed. They've cleaned up so much, but it's all of the beautiful trees. It's about 80% wiped out.
Oh, that's too bad. All right, folks.
All right.
See you on the other side.
Until next time. Bye.
Bye-bye. Arrivederci.